Hi everyone, and thanks for checking out my channel. Going to have a look at WTI crude oil, looking at last week, what happened and what could be the plan for the coming week. So yeah, let's get started. So interesting configuration we had last week. So we moved up to 40 for first attempt to close the gap. That did kind of fail and didn't actually get up to 41. Then we got to move back down. Then another attempt that's been strongly rejected now on 39, just a bit above. And it could be an actual confirmation of reversal, as we have seen here that we got that move up here, making a higher high. Fail here on that move down to actually get to another higher high, setting a lower high, then breaking down lower and setting that time lower low. So that's on the 4 hours chart. So I think this is significant. If we zoom out to the daily, then we can see that we even have not a really perfect and not really something highly reliable, but we're having a divergence on the daily. Divergence on daily are kind of the best divergence to trade. They are highly reliable. That one is not excellent because we don't have such a large number of candles in the middle, so usually 10 candles is best between two spike on the divergence, but still this could be the start of a significant move down. We could see the target for that move would be quite low, moving potentially down to the origin of that divergence. There could be a drop to the 30 zone area. So I think we need to keep that in mind, that the previous strategy, buying dips, is probably not valid anymore. Be very careful with long entry now, because they potentially counter trend, and that the main trend might actually switch to be bearish. So to confirm that, we will need a switch on the moving average first, that we don't see on the 4 hours yet, but it's starting to show on the 1 hour, but of course not confirmed. We have the cross here, but that's not really sufficient. But as for next week, what I'll be looking, keeping that in mind, that we're having now that first trend line that's sitting here, and another one that will be acting as a serious serious resistance, especially now that at 38 we're having that previous support that did break. So I wouldn't really not expect the price to move much higher than 38, and we'll be looking at shorting from this. So first scenario I'll be looking at is, should we see a move up early next week? And looking at a short entry point with a nice divergence setting on here. I really doubt this will happen like this, because it was weak momentum on Friday, and that drop is very significant. We have large candle, we have the US selling into WTI at the moment, so the selling pressure will be quite big, and with volume as well. The open interest, as we can see on the quote reports, still fallen during the last move up, so I don't believe that's supporting any continuation of the trend. We can see the managed money, the extreme long positioning now, it's sitting at 400k, which is very high, so not much ammunition they have here to actually push the price much higher. And also interestingly, we can see that during that time quote report, we can see that most of that move up has been fueled by short covering for the retail traders, and certainly not so much by the long entries, even if comparable in size of number of contract, but still believe that that move is unlikely to get a lot of momentum, and 38 will be an excellent short entry point. Now another scenario could be that it would drop against that trend line straight on Monday. Then if that's the case, I wouldn't short this, because I think that trend line is a bit weak to actually rely on it and put any stop loss there. And the 50 MA, I wouldn't rely on this on the hourly to actually cap the price for now. We need to wait for this to confer a bit more touches, and that's the algos actually setting up into sell mode on that moving average. If that's the case, potentially could look at 34.6, this area. Should we have a nice divergence on the 4 hour here? That looks extremely possible, but then we will have to hope for a break above that trend line for that trade to be something interesting and rewarding, as otherwise we will have a very short trade stopping at 36. So need to be really careful, look closely at the price action and how the price is actually moving against these trend lines, and if there's any sign of something going against the trend, exiting quite quickly. I think going long here is actually probably okay if we have a nice divergence at that point in sold, mainly because the stop loss can be set relatively close at 34, and I think should we break lower, which is still possible, then we are going to look at the 31 level. That would be the 4 hours 200 MA running here, so that would be another target. I think should we go short and really get some momentum on the downside regardless, I think that would be the objective. 31 dollars for next week, depending on what will happen, either we bounce up or we actually break lower. Could happen either midweek or only end of the week. Break above 38 will actually invalidate the bearish scenario and will put the table back to actually buy into WTI, but at the moment I don't see this as the preferred scenario, and I will be looking at trading short for next week. So yeah, that's about it. I hope you trade safe, have success, and I speak to you soon. Cheers, bye.